On this episode, we're going to get into pricing. This is a part 2 from a previous episode we did probably 4 or 5 months ago. The reason, we're getting a lot of comments of people talking about how they can't charge this and they can't charge that. Well, we're going to talk about why you should charge this and you should charge that. And even in a certain way, we're going to talk about your market and how that plays into this whole idea of pricing right now on the Biz Talk. All right, Tracy. Is this really loud?
You're always really loud.
Okay, this is really...
Hi.
Yeah.
It's late again.
It's late again. Okay, we are going to talk about pricing again because we've been getting a lot of comments on one of our new series. It's called How Much? And in this series that we're doing, Tracy does a set and she basically says how much she would charge. People have been getting a little upset over this idea of pricing,
which I love that they're commenting and feedback. I mean,
it's great.
It's great.
It's great because this is how we actually develop new content, right? It's a hot topic.
Yep.
Tracy and I said, we need to talk about this. We need to clarify a few things, but more than anything, we need to talk about it. And I think the first thing, Trace, is the intention of us doing this is one reason only, and that is we want you, the nail tech, the nail artist, to make more money. It's because we care.
Yep.
And we believe that the majority of you are not charging enough. As a matter of fact, we know that you're not charging enough because we talk to you on social, we talk to you at trade shows. We know you're not charging enough. But Tracy, let me ask you, what do you say when you see a lot of these comments come through? Generally, what do you say? How do you respond to that of I can't charge this, I would lose all my clientele if I charge these prices?
Right. And I think first people need to understand that is not our intention.
Right.
We don't want you to lose your clientele. We go broke if you lose your clientele.
Yeah. You go broke, we go broke.
We go broke. So that is not our intention. I want to encourage and build up these techs that are afraid to charge what they're worth.
Right.
And that's the main goal. So I agree. There are some markets, or maybe it's in a different country that, maybe the pay isn't the same. Maybe housing's much cheaper. Maybe everything's a lot cheaper. Yeah, then your service is going to be in that range.
Right.
So we totally agree with that. But I think what bothers me is sometimes that can be used
as an excuse.
I don't want to offend, but as an excuse.
Right.
And not because they're trying to make excuses for themselves, is that they don't have that confidence yet to do it, so that's their reasoning. I can't. People won't pay it. And they have no idea that actually people in their town are getting paid it.
You know what's interesting is maybe $175 in your market is not realistic. Okay, and that's fine. That's fine.
I get that.
But what about that still there still may be an issue with your pricing. I guess what we're really asking nail artists to do is just go back and look at what you are charging. Maybe $175 is not realistic, but what about more than what you're charging? I think that's the whole point, right?
It's self-examine.
Right.
Check and make sure that you are getting the fair market value or the top of the market value.
Right. In your area.
And the way you have to do that is you have to educate yourself. I knew what everybody in my town charged when I owned a salon.
Right.
I did. I didn't base it on those pricing, but I sure wanted to make sure that I was in the ballpark. And usually my pricing was on the top of the ballpark, but that's where I wanted to be.
You know what the more important point is here, actually? It's what is the maximum that you think you can charge in your market, okay? And that's what you should strive for. So for example, right, we are not saying if you're fresh out of school, you should charge top of the market prices in your area. Okay, because the chances are, the reality is most likely you are not going to get it. Okay, because your skill has to still be there. Your work and your product still has to be there. Like the quality of your work still has to be there. Okay, so if you are coming out of school and let's say you're working on your craft and you're going to have some clients come through and maybe the work is not going to be solid. You might have some lifting. You might have some issues. We're not saying, hey, charge them top of the charge them top of the market prices. No, you can't do that. And ultimately, the market is going to tell you what you can and can't do. It is the ultimate judge and jury. But what you can do is understand what is the top of the market pricing in my area. And that's what I got to work towards, building my reputation, building my brand. Now, Tracy would be top of the market nail tech in Los Angeles, 110%. So she's going to charge top of the market pricing, like plain and simple, right?
Plain and simple. And here, I think, because a lot of people are like, that's LA pricing. Actually, it's really hard to get that pricing. There's a lot of salons that are charging a lot less in LA.
Very competitive here. Very.
In fact, I think one of our mentors who has recently moved here, who is charging the same pricing I'm giving you, she moved from a small cow town. And she was having an easier time. She was shocked when she moved here. She was like, what is going on? People are complaining about my pricing, but she stuck to her guns. This is the interesting part. She worked in a salon with 11 other techs, and they were coming to her going, you're crazy. Why are you charging this much? They were charging half of what she was charging. Now, here's where everybody's like, my market won't. She was getting it.
Yeah.
So they were actually laughing a little bit at her, but she's like, why are you laughing at me? I'm
getting the pricing.
Prices. And there's 11 more techs out there that are charging half.
And so let's talk about that. Let's build on what you're talking about there. Melissa knows what she's worth.
Yes.
Like, she is a top tech. She knows her worth. She knows that, look, these are my prices. I know I'm putting out nail art and sets, and I'm gonna bling you out beyond what anybody's gonna be able to do, and they're gonna last, and I'm going to guarantee the work. Right? That is worth this price. It's $175 for that set. It's, whatever her base is. I don't know what it is, but it's very high.
She starts at $90 for a full set. That's her base. That's her base.
So there you go. Okay. I think what we see time and time again, like, for example, we did the Nail Pro Sacramento show recently, right? Mm-hmm. I had so many nail artists come to me and show me their work. And I was blown away. I was like, wow, this is really, really good work. I guarantee you, the majority of them are not charging what they're worth. And this is the whole point of what we're talking about.
And guess where they live?
We see so many nail artists work on their craft and build their skill and their quality of work to the point where they can charge top of the market. And they're not. This is what we're talking about. We're not saying if your product is not there, your work is not there, you shouldn't. But you know what you should do? I mean, you should test. You have to push the market a little bit and test it and see what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying? But if you look at Melissa's Instagram and you see the work she's doing, you know what I'm saying? And if you know that you're pumping out work that's similar and you've got the confidence and you know what you're worth, you got to be charging more. You've got to be charging more for your work.
And I think, because, we just did a how much, and Habib's like, no, but seriously, what would you actually charge?
Right.
And or did you charge these prices? And what I had to remind Habib about is I haven't been in salon doing nails that way for a long time.
Right.
And so my pricing was cheaper than 90, but my base price actually started at 60, and then I charged for all the art. So if you base that 10 years ago, I was getting the same in Redding, California.
Right.
Redding, California. Huge unemployment city, a cow town. it's not LA, and I was getting those prices. So just educate yourself on the market, because
Right.
if I'm getting it in those towns, and other mentors are getting in these smaller towns, so can you.
We have mentors all over the country, and they're all in different markets, and they are all doing exceptionally well, and they charge for their work.
Right.
They charge for their work, which is all we want for you at the end of the day. So I would say, look at your market, look at your quality of work that you're doing. Don't shortchange yourself. Absolutely do not. Push it a little bit, feel it out, experiment, and see. I just really believe in, if every single person watching this right now, if you just bumped up your price a little bit right now, I guarantee you're going to make way more money, and you're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so glad they told me this. And now you're on your way. Now you see that you can charge more, and you're on your way. Let us know your thoughts. I want to hear it. I want to hear your thoughts on pricing.
I love it. I love the comments.
It's
Please.
Great.
Yeah.
Tell us exactly what you're doing. Let us know in the comments below.
Even
about
if you're
pricing.
mad at us, like,
let us know.
Jerks don't know.
Tell us. Tell us what we don't know.
Just direct it at him.
Direct it at me. Let me know how angry you are. It's fine. We just want to hear your thoughts. And with that, say thank you for joining us, and we will see you next week on the Biz Talk.